Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your January 2021 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. There we go. And just a reminder, if anybody solicits you in the comment box saying that they are me, asking if you would like a reading, know that that is not me. I will not solicit you for readings. I am actually closed to private readings at this time. All right, so now let's dive into this reading, clearing the energy space, raising our own energy vibration, and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels, oh goodness, and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Can you see that okay? You move this down just a bit so you can see a bit better. Perfect. All right. So, excuse me. I have the moon all laid out here, what we need to know about the full moon, which is in Leo, then the new moon, which is in Aquarius, and then the next full moon in February, which is in Virgo. So now the left-hand side here is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. And this is how the moon will be affecting you in each of these arenas. So we have the star, which is strong Aquarius energy. So the new moon is going to be very powerful for you. And that is on the 11th of February. Then you have the lovers, strong Gemini energy. Time frame is May 21st to June 20th. You have the 5 of Pentacles. You have the Ace of Pentacles. the Queen of Pentacles, so you're definitely taking this gift. Also connecting you very strongly with the full moon in Virgo in February, on the 27th of February. Then we have the Seven of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. So I'm not surprised to see the intensity of emotion that this moon brings you, because the full moon in Leo, which is on the 28th of January, it's a very emotional moon. And we're also entering into, on the 30th, we're entering into Mercury retrograde, which also we have pre-Mercury retrograde, which started on the 15th of January. So emotions are really, really high during this time. And there's kind of no getting around it. We have Justice, which is strong Libra energy, time frame September 23rd to October 22nd. You have the Two of Cups. You have the High Priestess. I love that. And you have the Eight of Pentacles. So your hard work really does pay off. The public arena is a lot calmer than you would actually expect it to be here. Yeah, Aries, because there is just such a sense of internally, you're going through so much, and this moon is affecting you so tremendously that you're going to think, oh, everybody can see it, and it's actually going to be rather annoying that they can't. And so you're going to think, on one hand, it's like, oh, good, I kind of tricked them. They all think everything is great. And on the other hand, it's going to be like, why don't they understand that I'm handling as much as I possibly can at this moment? Like, I do not want one more thing put on my plate. And that's going to be because you're handling yourself so very well. You really are. You're showing exactly what you want to. So if this is a time where really seriously you need to have that connection, that communication, because you do have the repeat of the number 2 here, this is going to be a time where you just need to tell somebody. It's like either you need to tell a friend or somebody you really trust within your family, like, I just need to talk, I'm overwhelmed, I don't know exactly how I'm heading in the right direction, or if I'm heading in the right direction, type of thing, and kind of step back, because you're going to try and be so just, so fair to everybody and make everything perfect that you're just going to forget about yourself, and it's going to break your heart. And that's what divinity, just like right off the bat, if you get nothing else out of this moon, if you know to stand up for you and to say, I matter, I'm counting what my heart wants, what my soul needs, if that's all you get out of this moon, then you have won. Then you have absolutely won, Aries. Okay, now let's look here at the chakra energy for this time. We're going to put that right there. So how is Aries going to be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How is Aries going to be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How is Aries going to be affected by the January 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Okay, these two. And show me clearly. Fantastic. There we go. Everything snug in its place. So we're starting off with clarity, which is the third eye chakra. And then we have here truth, which is the third chakra. And both clarity and truth are going to be so important for you because they're setting the tone. And we're going to see exactly how they're setting the tone here. But it's like seeing what you want, okay, and seeing where it is that you want to be really connects you with the high priestess energy that's coming in the public arena. You see beyond the people's masks, the lies, the deceits, the way people want you to perceive them, and you see who it is that they truly are. And with the truth, speaking your truth, knowing your truth, moving forward in the power of your truth is going to be so much a part of your voice during this time, Aries, that if you swallow that truth to make everybody else happy and to, be what everybody else wants you to be, you will feel as if you're diminished in one way or another during this time. Now, the full moon is in Leo, and this is on the 28th of January. So it's only a few days left in January. We have here, don't let pride get in your way. Now, this full moon has us surrendering to the divine and embracing our power. That's always what the full moon does. It also shines a spotlight on the last lunar cycle and also on the ways that we're going to move forward in this lunar cycle to the places that we want to be, to the person that we really want to embrace being, especially during this year, but just in life in general. And so here, this connection to our deeper power is really going to be fueled, and I love how you have the high priestess here, really going to be fueled by the goddess energy of Bridget. Now, whether you believe in that energy or not, it is a time of poets, it is a time of healing, and it is a time of smiths. So the creating, working with metals that sort of thing. But I like the poetry aspect of it. If you are an artist in any way, shape, or form, this moon is going to be very much shining an artistic light upon your life, breathing your world into poetry, which can make it a little bit more raw, a little bit more opened, but it's also going to make it this huge expression of yourself, of where it is that you want to be. And not letting pride get in your way is going to be such a valuable part to not letting others steal your words, not letting others dictate how you move forward, how you see your life, where it is that you want to be. You're also going to find that this moon is also called the Rowan moon, which brings this beautiful element of protection and strength and security to new ventures, but also just into your life in general. This is a time where the drama is really brought hard because the full moon in Leo brings the drama. It just does. And it's a fixed sign. And it's fixed to the sun, which the sun, of course, is the light that reflects off of the moon. So it's very much being reflective about where we are fixed, like the things that we're saying, no, I will not move. Like, I'm stubborn. I'm not going to do this. It's my way or the highway type of thing. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is who I am. And here we're going to have to just be a little bit agreeable, but also know that our energy is fixed. It's like, I will get this done. I will be doing what I want to do. And that's just going to be a part of our personality during this time. But the unfortunate thing is that that's a part of everybody's personality during this full moon. It's going to be like, well, I know what's best. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm headed. And so you're going to find here that if you distance yourself from what is making you angry, if you distance yourself from what is causing you to say, no, I'm right, that's it, period, end of discussion, like go on a walk or meditate or, do something to kind of step back for a moment, you're going to find that this full moon can be so much more enlightening than you thought it was going to be, right? And also during this time, because Leo is a fixed symbol, is a fixed sign, we're not going to be moving very fast. We want time to think about things. We want time to, sit down, look at everything, take in everything, and then say, how can I move forward? What is going to be the best advantage to me? Where is it that I want to be within my life? This moon also leads us to overreaching, like having these super high expectations for ourselves and then being absolutely devastated when we don't reach them. And this is going to be that discerning energy that's crowning the public arena. If you can be fair to yourself, if you can sit there and say, listen, I can only do so much in a day. I can only be so much all the time. I need to have this balance. I need to have this harmony within me. Then you're going to find that you actually wind up serving yourself very well. If you sit there and you say, I just have to get everything done, and there's no excuses. If I don't do it, it is a failure, and anything that I have to say is simply an excuse. That's not going to help you at all, and it's actually going to break your heart a bit, because Leo is very romantic. It wants you to listen to the heart, and that's why it's saying here, don't let pride get in your way, because if you let pride get in your way, you don't listen to your heart. You listen to what everybody else has to say. You listen to kind of like that keeping up to the Joneses, keeping up with the Kardashians kind of feels like, oh, I have to have the life that everybody can be jealous of. It's like, no, have the life where you are happy and content and at peace. And you know what? The funny thing is once you stop caring about what everybody else, how everybody else sees you, that's when they'll start being jealous of you. They'll start saying like, oh my gosh, Aries, you seem to have everything figured out, or you have such an air of calm about you, or you have such insight, and you do. And that's because you're healing. You're healing so much in the public arena because you're moving yourself forward and you're taking boundaries of the heart and making them really serious for yourself. And this is where the new moon in Aquarius, you start off with this new moon really calling to you. And that will be on the 11th of February. So it's really funny because it's even like as we come into the full moon, you're already hearing the call of the new moon. You're already healing. You're healing and you're hearing this beautiful beauty. It says a new start is coming. It's time for beginnings. Bring love into your life. And that's going to be your passion until the new moon. And once you get to the new moon, so it's going to be from the 28th of January to the 11th of February, you're going to have this call of bringing love, of bringing your passion into your existence. So it says, bring love into the situation. Bring love into the situations of your life, into every single moment. Because once you hit this new moon, the way divinity is showing it is that it's going to pretty much feel like, did I did I do it right? Like, did I have this passion? Did I lead with love? Not did I live with love, but did I lead with love? Because you can't love everybody every moment of every day. But if you can lead with that emotion within you, it's kind of like, I am blessed, I am a person of divinity, I walk in power of the universe. If you can lead with that emotion, with that power, with that beauty within your breast, within your heart, that is going to be so powerful for you. If you focus even on, it's kind of like where your heart chakra and your throat chakra meet. If you can focus on that energy and say, I need that truth to lead me forward. And that's why the truth within your throat chakra is going to be so important to you. It's like, if you can lead with the truth of your heart and have that guide you, you're going to really see by the time you enter into the full moon in Virgo, which says, I'm good enough, that it's not patronizing. It's powerful. It's like, I am good enough. I am enough. I don't need to be what anybody else expects me to be. I don't need to live like anybody else, demands that I live. I am enough. I am here. I am now. I am present. I am aware. And I am moving towards my goals. I am moving within my love, within my joy, within my experiences. And so that good enough becomes an empowerment for where it is that you need to be within your life. And it leads you to the protection of the spirit animals for January and for February. Now, in January, we have the owl spirit, which plays very prominently during this time because you do have the connection with the high priestess and the owl spirit, because it sees beyond the mask that people wear, because it is, connected to the strength that we have within ourselves. And it's no longer, dwelling on and dealing with, the lies and the deceits or, the embarrassment about embracing spirituality. It's saying, what, this is the path I need to walk. This is the way that I need to see things. And it's truth within the darkness. So where others might be stumbling, you're going to really find here, Aries, that you're walking with pride and with definition, and you are announcing the change that you want within your world. And it connects you. So you see clearly now. You see things a lot more clearly. And it connects you with the brown bear spirit. You take time out to look at the passion, at the power that you're planting over your heart. You take time out to ground yourself in the strength that you need to handle this moon time, to handle these phases of the moon, to see yourself forward, to say, this is where I want to be, this is who I am, this is what I desire. And this is going to be a time where there's healing done through quiet, through solitude, through connecting with your mind, your soul, yourself. And it brings you then to the otter spirit, which is the spirit animal of February. And it says, you are never alone. And this is during a time where you can feel alone. You can feel overwhelmed. You can feel like you've bitten off more than you can chew, and that you can't really state it to somebody because they're going to judge you. And here you're going to find that it's time to stop swimming against the current. It's time to see where the waters lead you, where your emotions, where your understanding, where your compassion leads you, and embrace the joy in life. Embrace the happiness, embrace the laughter, embrace the ideas and the ideals, because you're connecting with a unity to yourself, and embrace of the heart. And this is awareness of the subconscious. This is like, what is it that I truly need to move myself forward? Because you're embracing the throat chakra, and you can find it very hard to embrace the truth within the throat chakra, to say what it is that you really mean, to not, sit there and think, oh, I just want to make people happy, and I'll just agree here and I'll just agree there because it'll make life so much better. It's like, no, step back. See your truth, embrace your truth. Look at what it is that you desire, what it is that you want, balancing your emotions and your passion and your, distinction and your determination, because that's what's going to bring you your clarity. That's what's going to have you sit there and say, oh, but I want this, not that. And oh, I need to move forward this way, not that way. And why am I focusing over here when really my energy should be over here? And things are going to start to become clearer. And it's also going to be a time where you kind of call out the stresses that you have within your life. It's like, I feel really stressed and overwhelmed because. And then when you name it and you kind of meditate upon it, clarity comes to why you are stressed there. It's like you can be expecting too much of yourself, and you're putting more and more on your shoulders until, you just sit there and you're like, I can't. And you just want to sit on the couch, watch TV, be left alone, have nobody call your name, need your help, anything like that. And if you can do that, that's awesome. But if you can't, if you're like most of us and you can't, you have like a bazillion people who need your attention and your time and everything, then stepping back and saying, why do I feel this way? Or even just giving yourself permission to have a bit of a break, to say, I just need to breathe. I just need to breathe. Because you're going to find, Aries, that during this time, divinity will come in and say, okay, you need to take a breath. It's like I needed to take a breath, okay? And then yesterday, we lost power. So I couldn't do anything. And I was so annoyed until I just accepted it. And I was like, okay, this is fine. It's okay. Just breathe. And then I saw it as the gift that it truly was. And so here you're going to have things like that. They're like taken out of your control. And this is why it's saying don't let pride get in your way. Because if you sit there and say, it has to be on my time, it has to be how I see it, you're going to miss the beauty of the stars. You're going to miss the beauty of the love and the peace and the compassion and the highest forms of man's desires. It's what we truly want within life. It's perfection. When our ancestors looked up at the stars, they saw perfection. And so they tried to emulate that perfection here on Earth. The pyramids are set to the stars. We, coursed our maps due to the stars. We guided our feet because of the stars. And so here, you're going to be looking up and seeing the vastness of what could be, of what seems to be the impossible at times. And this is going to be a time where you start to look at what it is that you want. It's kind of like, okay, well, if everything seems impossible, what are the impossible things that I want to achieve within my life, that I need to move forward with? And this is going to be a time where you step back and you say, well, this is the most important thing right now. How do I move this forward? Like, how do I get to be where it is that I need to be, soul, mind, and spirit? And you're going to find that that embraces, your truth. You're going to find that if you kind of cut things up into doable segments, that you can move yourself forward more readily and more honestly than you were doing before. And this leads you then to really listening to your heart. And this also leads you to seeing that divinity is blessing you in a way that is what your soul needs, not always what your soul wants or what you want. When we cross our fingers and say, oh, I'd really like this or that, it is really sitting there and seeing the thing that just sings to you. And you're going to find that things sing to you during this time. Aries, you really are. You're going to find that things come into your mind, that you're inspired in a certain way, that you might be, walking past a shop or something like that, and you could walk past that shop every single day, and you just see this one thing, and it just sings to you. It just sings to you. And then you go in there, and you're like, I just have to. I have to either purchase it, or I have to take a picture of it, or something like that, where I need to have this that sings to my heart around me all the time. And this is going to lead you to really embracing the lovers, really embracing what you love within your life, really embracing what you desire within your soul, of opening your heart to falling in love. This is a time where you can see your relationships strengthen, but you can also see your relationships kind of, they can be put on edge during this time. With the full moon in Leo, it can very much be like, okay, I'm right. And your partner is going to be like, well, I'm right. And it can be a bit messy at times. But if you step back and say, is this worth fighting about? Is this what I want to give my energy to? Or is it that I want to focus on not giving in? It's not giving in or giving up. It's like, or is it that I want to focus my energy on love, on respect, on understanding, on compassion? And it doesn't have to be for your partner. You can be like rip roaring mad at them if you want to be. But it's on you. It's saying, can I have this love that I desire within my life, elevating my soul and leading me forward? Because the lovers, we always think of the lovers as falling in love externally, falling in love with a person, falling in love with a place to live, falling in love externally. But it's falling in love internally with the sacred masculine, the sacred feminine aspects of ourselves, with what we desire, with our way forward, with our dreams and our hopes and our wishes. And so here, you're going to find that the lovers is actually you falling in love with you. And then everything else kind of falls into place because you are falling in love with you. And the tricky thing here is that you have the Five of Pentacles. Now, letting pride get in the way and having the Five of Pentacles is very powerful, because the Five of Pentacles is poverty. It is doubt. It is fear. It is, I'll prove it. It's, I'll work harder and longer and be exhausted, but just keep going. And so the Five of Pentacles here is saying to us, what is it that makes us feel like we're not worthy of wealth, of prosperity, of bounty? What is it that we're running up against and saying, oh, well, I just can't do it, can I? Or, oh, there's always going to be that roadblock, so I just have to try harder. I just have to get angrier. I just have to focus more of my energy here instead of on why. And that's going to be, and it sounds so easy. Like, oh, I just have to focus my energy on why. But it's more powerful than that, Aries. It's like, why is it that every time I take these steps, I move forward in a certain direction and I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing it. Then does it turn around and I just get knocked off my feet, or I get sick, or, something happens that needs my attention. What is it that's keeping me from moving forward? And it might not be anything you're doing. It might very well be chaos itself that's sitting there and saying, I like the world to be in chaos. And I know everything is chaos and everything lives and ends and begins again. And so life is naturally chaotic, but it's the chaos in life that makes us not enjoy it. That was wrongly worded. It's the chaos in life that takes over our lives, that pulls us away from enjoying our time here on this earthly plane. So this is what we have to look at. It's what is it that is keeping us from turning that key, from turning around, walking through that gate, coming out of the cold, coming out of a time of winter, of doubt, of isolation, of sorrow, of despair, and saying, I am worth wealth, prosperity, bounty, and brilliance. I am worth, this beautiful prosperity leading me forward. And I have worked hard enough, I have worked long enough that this gets to be a part of my life. It doesn't mean that all of a sudden the bank account overflows, though I do wish that upon each and every one of you. What it does mean is that we start to see things becoming calmer. We start to see ourselves becoming calmer. We start to see us looking at things and saying, this might be a winter. I might be going through a winter of the soul, of the self, and feeling overwhelmed. But you are stepping into, and will be stepping into, a time of great prosperity, a time of great bounty. And you will see then why you had to walk through this winter. It might not be anything that makes sense now. It could take years down the road. But if not for this winter, there would not be this spring. There would not be this bounty, this brilliance, this prosperity, this abundance. And that's what divinity, God, source, spirit, however you say it, however you see it, that's what they're handing you. That's what they want for you. They're saying, here is a gift. Please take it. Embrace it. And your heart is taking it. Your heart is opening up to new prosperity, to new bounty, to new ways forward. There is this time, and you will see it around the 27th of February, which I know is like a long way away, but it will be here way before we even realize it, where it says, you are good enough. You are enough. You are enough to move yourself forward. You are enough to achieve your goals. You have what it takes. You really do. The only problem is that the world makes us feel like we don't, or gives us dreams that weren't really our dreams. They were the, I'll prove it to you. I'm not going to be that person who gets laughed at anymore. I'm not going to be that person who, gets doubted anymore. So I'm going to set my dreams so that every other person realizes that I am prosperous, that I am abundant, that I am exactly what they will envy. And here, the only person who has to know that you are rich, that you are prosperous, that you are bountiful, that you are moving forward in the right way, that's you. And they'll be able to see it over time. Believe me, they will be able to see you stepping into this place of prosperity and wealth and bounty of the heart, of the soul, of the waking world. And they will be jealous enough. But this is a time where you look at what it is that you want, that you look at what it is that you need. And you hold that dream to your heart. You hold that prosperity to your heart. And you use the stubbornness of this Leo moon to say, all right, stubborn, determined, going after what it is that I want. But do not let it take away all the other joys, because it can become a very single-minded, very too much moon. So here, just be mindful of that. So here, you're definitely taking this gift of prosperity, this gift of bounty. You're going to see the tides starting to shift around what has overwhelmed you, what has robbed you of the wealth that you are calling into your life, but it's also claiming the favor, claiming the favor of prosperity from the universe. It's saying that I have stardust running through my veins. I am connected to the universe, and the universe is connected to me. And that's where you start to change the game. The Seven of Swords, here it looks rather ominous, right? So she's taking up the swords, she's leaving two behind, she's walking forward, and that's what you're going to be doing. Now, here she's checking over her back, she's, looking at things. It's like, am I doing the right thing? Is me gathering up my information, gathering up what I desire, gathering up my determination, my power, my insight, is that the right thing for me? The answer is yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is the right thing for you to be moving forward. Now, people during this time, and one of the reasons why your heart can feel so overwhelmed is because people are going to be thinking, well, why aren't you sharing? Or you're going to be thinking, it's going to be both. It's going to be that you're feeling it, like I should be sharing more of this with other people. And it's also going to be that they're going to be thinking, well, why aren't you sharing everything with me? Or there seems to be an aloofness here. And this is very much a sense of, okay, yes, I'm not going to share everything that I'm creating, that I'm moving forward with you, because that's just not going to be right for you during this time, Aries. This is a time of gathering. This is a time of gaining an understanding. And then when you start to move forward, it's like, okay, this is what my heart craves. This is what my heart desires. This is where I need to be. And it leads you then to this like well laid out plan. And when you have this well laid out plan, and it's not even that you have to have everything all written down and set up. It's going to be that you're sitting there and saying, I need to let the poetry of creation come into my life. I need to let myself embrace this inspiration. I need to move out of this stagnant, terrible place into a place where I can actually see my dreams, having hope, having a voice, and I can see my heart, smiling and me soaring. And it's like, it's breaking a rut. It's breaking it's almost like you're breaking a curse that was laid over you. And it's like a generational curse. It can be even just that sense of people speaking negativity over you, and you believed it because you were young, or you were vulnerable, or you really trusted and liked that person, and then their energy just kind of took over. That doubt, they planted that one little seed, and it grew into this whole, tremendous forest. And now you're gathering up what you need to leave that behind. And you're going to find that you need to have things more balanced, that you're going to find that everybody kind of has their hand out, and it wounds your heart not to help everyone, not to be able to sit there and say, oh, I can do this for you, and I can do that for you, and don't worry, I can handle this. You're going to need to balance the scales. Because if you do not balance the scales, you will not move forward to the place that you really want to be. You will feel stuck, you will feel trapped, you will feel overwhelmed, and you will build resentment. And the resentment will poison everything that you have around you. Now, this is in no way or form saying at all that you are cursed, like in that negative sense at all. It is saying that you are breaking something that has been around you for too long, and it feels like a curse. It feels like it's taken away your joy, that it hasn't moved you forward in the prosperity of your heart. And so here what you're doing is you're saying, no longer does chaos get to reign supreme over me. No longer do I get to be pulled back every time I start to step into my light. And so here, as you balance the scales, this is my minor arcana, Justice card. As you start to balance the scales, as you start to say, I can do this, but I can't do this. I can move forward this way, but I can't move forward this way. I can help you, but only to this point, because I can't give everything to you all the time, because I will be exhausted. It then moves you to the Nine of Swords. It has you facing the nightmares, the doubts, the fears, the angers, the upsets, the upheavals, everything that kind of holds you back. And it has you looking at this, at the root of your heart. And so what's very interesting is that the root of your heart is nightmares and fears and doubt. At the crown of your heart, prosperity, success, and bounty. And you're clearing house. You're clearing house to say, I accept this gift. I'm rooted in the building of my dreams. My nightmares, yes, can come in. They can rob me. They can make me feel like I can't move forward the way that I want to. They can have you overanalyzing, thinking something to death, sitting there and saying, I'm just going to make sure that it's safe, that I'm safe, that everything's taken care of. You can't plan for everything. You just can't. Now it is time to sit there and say, this is what I need within my soul, within myself, within the power and the brilliance that is me. And I have fears, but I'm talking to those fears. Instead of locking those fears away, putting them in a in a closet and sitting there, in the closets of our mind, in a little box, and saying, you don't get to come out. You don't get to have a voice. It's like, look at the fear and look at why there is this fear around prosperity. Why is there that you get to a point, Aries, and then there's this pauper mentality that comes in, this sense of poverty that says, oh, I can't be. And it doesn't have to be with money, though it can very well be. You can get to a certain point and then you hear a parent like yelling in your head about the bills to pay, and don't you understand this? And I can't believe you spent this much money, and, just going off. And then that makes money very negative for you. It makes it very scary because at the time when bills were being paid and things were happening, it became a place of fear. Or you could have had somebody use money over you. You could have had a perfectly beautiful relationship with money and prosperity, and then let's say you married somebody, or you were in a relationship with somebody who just went at you every single time you spent a penny, okay? And just made you feel terrible. This is what you're breaking. This is what you're saying no more to. And this is that, soul's curse that makes you think, oh, I can't because. And it doesn't have to be about money. It could be about relationships. Oh, I don't bring anything to the table. I'm not as smart or as pretty or as this or as that as this person, so I'm going to have to settle. It's like, no, there's bounty, there is greatness coming here. And if you look at yourself with worth, with the sense of the heavens are listening to me, the stars in the sky are guiding me towards something greater than I could ever have realized, you start to see balance coming in. And balance is going to be very important for you in the public arena. So this could be you being very just to everybody really respecting you, you sitting there and saying, okay, everything has to be fair. It doesn't always have to be right, but it's like it should be explained or understood, things like that. And so here with justice coming in, it can be that people start to really see you as somebody who is very fair, who listens, who, is moving things forward in a just right way. You have that ability, Aries, to really pull people in, and to, even if you're not like the boss of the situation, to have people gather around and tell you things, to make things better, to be an advocate for them. Be very careful about people manipulating you this way, because you are an emperor. You are a person that has an authority within themselves. And so here, as people, turn towards you, you want to make sure that the person who's really in charge, or like the boss, isn't looking and starting to get jealous. Like, why are they coming to you and not to me? So that's something to be mindful of during this moon. This is also a sense of things becoming more balanced. Things, you're sitting there and saying, I'm being discerning about the energy that I'm letting into my life, about the power that is guiding me forward, about the place that I really want to be, and how I really want to move within my life and myself. And so you're starting to say no a bit more readily and easily, not angrily, and that's going to be very important. But you're saying, no, if this doesn't add to me, add to the joy of my existence, add to my prosperity of soul and self, why am I going to take it on? Because there are going to be times here, and it can be around money, where this is almost like you work smarter, not harder. And this is also the sense of, what do they say? If you put in just 10% more, you can increase your prosperity by like 50%. So this is a time where you start to look at things and say, how can I increase my prosperity, my wealth, my bounty, myself? And it's by being just. It's also by being very discerning about the energy that you let in, about the people you let into your life, about the words that you let affect you, and also taking note when things do affect you that are negative and chaotic, and taking a step back and saying, why? And also having that time of solitude to be able to heal, because you have this beautiful healing coming forward as you connect with what you love, and as you start moving in a direction that you might actually think is maybe, Spirit is saying, a betrayal of what you had thought before. It doesn't have to be as intense as that, because I feel betrayal is a very harsh word to use. But it can almost be like, oh, wow, I didn't see this. I didn't think this could happen. I didn't think I could move forward this way. I didn't think, this could be the path that I take. But now that you're healing, now that you're calling forward this power, now that you're connecting with the sacred aspects of yourself, with the duality of your human nature, now that you're looking at this openly, honestly, spiritually, positively, powerfully, you're going to see yourself moving towards something a little bit more intensely beautiful, something that you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for this healing. You've been waiting for this, collective coming together. And it leads you then to the high priestess. It leads you to the veil being lifted from your eyes, for, this truth to be such a powerful part of you, the sense of there is more here than what I had originally thought. There is power, there is brilliance, there is purpose to my existence. And you're going to see yourself moving forward in a way that you hadn't anticipated. You're also going to see yourself looking at people, and this is going to be a little bit hard because you're going to find that you're rather disappointed in people during this time. And it's not that, they let you down, but it is, though. It's because you're going to see that for as long as you had thought, I'm not worthy of walking through that door, once you start to really embrace your spiritual self, once you really start to embrace your heart, your passion, your desire, your balance, and you start to balance those scales, there is going to be a bit of an anger saying, why didn't I do this sooner? Why couldn't I have walked through these doors before? And what divinity is saying is that things do not happen in our time, which always gets me so mad at divinity, but things do not happen in our time. They happen in divine timing. And so you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And even though it feels overwhelming, and even if this is, what do they call them? The dark night of the souls. The black dog of fate, even if this is a time where it just feels completely overwhelming, you feel as if your voice is lost, you feel as if you've gotten so off course that you can't even possibly imagine righting yourself. I mean, that is a time where you're going to start to see that if you stay in faith of self, okay, in power of conviction, in alignment with what you desire, and the sense of love and harmony coming from you. Yes, people might take advantage. Absolutely. People can be absolute jerks, okay? But if you stay in alignment with you, you will start to see yourself opening up those doors, moving forward. And then you will start to see that it couldn't have happened sooner. It would have been nice. And you might have those moments where it would have been really nice. But you start to see that it's happening exactly the way that it's supposed to. Because you wouldn't have this level of insight. You wouldn't have, this drive, this determination, this compassion, this comprehension if you didn't walk through hell. You just wouldn't. And so here the high priestess is that quiet realization, is that sense of deep divine wisdom coming forward, and that sense of, oh wow, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is who I am. And it's looking behind the masks of everybody else. And all those people that you thought had it all figured out, they just didn't. They were just able to fake it better. They might have, they might have been better liars than you were. And that's really not something to be proud of. So here, it's like, understand that you walk in your authenticity. And that authenticity is really quite eye-opening for you. And it's very much here also with the high priestess of moving forward in the power of your third eye chakra, of what cannot be seen. So you have that third eye chakra bringing with it clarity, bringing with it greater understanding, bringing with it this reflective, powerful, brilliant truth. And that's what's opening the door for you. And you're going to start to see, that's why Spirit had me say that everything that you have been through is for a reason, because the Eight of Pentacles, every heartbreak, every ounce of blood, sweat, and tears that you've put into the crafting of your life, it has been worth it. That you put into the prosperity that you want to move forward with, the life that you want to have, it has been worth it. It hasn't, been overlooked. It hasn't done nothing for you. It has really empowered you, emboldened you, and set you to this place where you're very serious, you're very determined, and nothing and no one will hold you back. Now you have the repeat of the number 6. So this is a healing, beautiful number. And this is a sense of, of nurturing being around you, a very much kind of, I always think of it as like the sacred feminine cradling us in her hands. It's like, you are protected, you are safe. And then I always see like, you have the sacred feminine cradling you in her hands, and then you have the sacred masculine cradling her. And it's like, everybody is protected, everybody is safe. And so here, you're going to find that energy being very much a part of you, very much that protective, caring, compassionate, beautiful energy coming into your life if you let it. You can close the door on it, absolutely. And the sacred feminine isn't the type that would be like pounding on the door. She'll just wait. She'll wait till you're ready to open it. And she would answer you like, why did you take so long to get here? And what she would say is, why did you take so long to answer? Why did you take so long to open the door? I've been here forever. And then that kind of always makes me pause, because it's like, why wasn't I ready? Why couldn't I open the door to her and to myself at the same time? And so let's see what the moon has to say. Let's see what Luna has to say about this time. Ooh, I have them all upside down. Okay. How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? How will Aries be affected by the January 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh. And one bonus card. Fantastic. Okay, so let's see what the moon has to say for herself. You have purity, trust, and acceptance, which is reversed here. So the acceptance is going to be a little bit hard. We have boundaries. We have you and your loved ones are safe with the new moon in Cancer. We have you're close to achieving your goals with the gibbous moon. Communication is key, the new moon in Gemini. Luck is on your side with the new moon in Sagittarius. And then you have you coming through Aries, where it's time to take action with the new moon in Aries. Your bonus card is the new moon in Taurus, which says prosperity lies ahead. So what you have here is, as you start to look at what it is that you deeply desire within life and what it is that you deeply love and want, you have this purity of self, of hopes, of dreams. And it's very much, for me, where I live in the world, it very much looks like January, just very cold, very white, very much kind of like a blank canvas. And that's going to be something, it's the purity of creation. It's the sense of the slate has been washed clean. It's like the light of this moon has burnt away, the past and is leading you forward to the present. It's like this spotlight is being given to you. What are you going to do with it? How are you going to follow, and how are you going to embrace what it is that you truly want and wish for and hope for, and and to bring love within your life? And then how are you going to trust yourself? How are you going to trust how you're moving forward when at times it feels like you're trapped, like you can't? Are you going to have the faith in yourself to break out of, it could be this generational, again, curse of poverty, of we don't get to go that far. We always have to struggle, or it can be that person who spoke negativity over you. It could have been a parent, it could have been somebody that you really cared about, you really loved, that said, oh, you'll never make it. You're never going to be smart enough. You're never going to be talented enough. You're always going to have to live in despair. And you're going to find that you're breaking that you're sitting there and you're trusting this kind of incubation period to say, when I come out of my shell, as I'm coming out of my shell, I will be more powerful, more more determined, more than I have ever been. And so that leads you to the acceptance of this gift of prosperity, but it's reversed. So it's like, I accept it, yes, and then I doubt it. I can't. So you're going to have this bit of a battle within you. And this is something that you have to be very open and honest with yourself. It's not like, oh, I'll be successful, I'll be prosperous, everything will be great. I don't have to worry about anything. It's like, no, you have to accept the parts of you that are afraid, because those parts of you that are afraid are sitting there and saying, I'm protecting you. I'm keeping you held back because I don't want you to be hurt. I don't want you to fail again. Remember when you failed when you were, 13 and everybody laughed at you and it was devastating? No more. Like, I just want to keep you safe. And so your own psyche does it to yourself to say, I just want to keep you safe. And now this is a time to kind of live out loud, to say, but I want to take the risk. I want to see what will happen. Because as you do so, you set new boundaries for yourself and new boundaries for those around you. As you embrace your prosperity, as you move yourself forward, you and your loved ones are safe. You are safe to sit there and say, no, I can't take on anymore. I can't give and give and give. There needs to be a balance. There needs to be this balance. And if there isn't this balance, then there's only chaos. And I'm not doing chaos because I need to make sure that I am safe, that my loved ones are safe, and that things are harmonious as I move forward. And it leads you then to knowing that you are very close to achieving your goals. That's why the chaos comes in. That's why the darkness comes in, pulls you back and says, oh no, you really can't. Remember when you failed? Remember how scared you were? Remember how easily you get tongue-tied, or how embarrassed you get, and how you blush so easily, and how you can cry when you get really emotional. Like, remember that? Do you really want to? And the answer is yes, you really want to. Because you're very close to achieving your dreams. You're very close to getting to where it is that you were born to be. And that's amazing. And it leads you then to knowing that communication is key to balance, to heal. You need to communicate with the two aspects of yourself. Okay, the introverted and the extroverted aspects, the masculine and the feminine aspects, the parts of you that feel like they don't talk to each other, that feel like they speak different languages. It's time for them to communicate, and it's time for them to make the effort. The part of you that wants to keep you safe and quiet and small, and the part of you that wants to live out loud and large. So now you take aim. It is time to take aim. Luck is on your side. As you see through the veils of others, as you look at your prosperity, as you look at what it is that you truly desire, luck is on your side. Your hard work means that it's time to take action. It is time to take action and call prosperity forward, to call bounty within your realm of existence, within what you want from life. And as you do so, you know that prosperity lies ahead. As you embrace the beautiful, stubborn, ram-headedness of Aries, you embrace the prosperity that lies ahead and the power that it takes to get there. Now, your subconscious chakra message for this time is listening to the throat chakra, listening to what it is that you really want, listening to the world around you, listening to your passionate, powerful, brilliant self. Listen. Listen to what is really being said instead of what we just want to hear. That's such a rare gift. So often nobody listens anymore. Everybody shouts. Everybody thinks they heard what you were saying. And it's like, no, just truly listen. And kind of do an exercise where you just listen. Start listening to books on tape. You can get them, you can have them free on YouTube. There are books on YouTube. You can listen to music, like to folk songs. I love folk songs because they have such beautiful stories to them. You can just start listening. Listen, go for a walk and listen to the birds singing. See what you find. See what you see. Start listening to what nature is telling you. Start listening to what your body is telling you, what the world is telling you. And start moving forward in that truth because you have listened. And people will be blown away, Aries. They'll be like, well, how did you know that I was upset? And, when did you, I didn't say that. It's like, no, you didn't have to. You were listening not only to them, what they were saying, you were listening to what their spirit was calling for. And that, oh my gosh, that will just open up a world for you. Now let's see what the moon has to say. We first start off with the masculine. That's why the sacred masculine comes forward. This is the lunar god. This is the masculine power of the moon coming forward, of this determination, of this focus, of this, kind of I will fight for what I need, and I'm stubborn and I'm going to go after it. It's very much how I see the Leo energy, being very just focused and powerful. And so you're embracing that. And as you embrace that focused, powerful, quote unquote masculine energy, you are seeing that you're working through your fears. You're working through everything that has held you back, everything that has made you think, oh no, I can't possibly. So you work through your fears and you find this balance coming forward. You find this understanding guiding you. And it brings you then to your subconscious tarot message, which is the Page of Pentacles. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is being a student of your prosperity. This is being a student of taking this gift from divinity, of, having this power of your heart guide you forward. This is like, how? How am I going to do this? Looking at things differently, breaking down barriers, sitting there and seeing you. Not as everybody else wants to see you, or as you think everybody sees you, or how you want to see yourself. Seeing yourself as a student, seeing yourself as somebody with so much to learn, because life is all about learning. And saying, how do I embrace being crowned by prosperity? How do I walk in my wealth, in my bounty? How do I embrace my abundance? And that starts you moving forward. It's like, how do I embrace my gifts? And so then you start to see yourself not as somebody with all these challenges to overcome, with all this chaos to overcome, but somebody who, it's kind of like when weeds are overgrowing in the garden and you have to clear out the weeds to have the vegetables grow. It's like, how can you have the nourishment for your soul grow if everybody's just dumping weeds all the time? Okay, if weeds just keep overpowering it. It's like being a student of your prosperity, of your bounty, is clearing out those weeds. And sitting there and knowing that, yes, next week you're going to have to go out and clear them out again. But that there is beauty in the rhythm to life and into the discovery of roots. Of like, oh wow, those are the roots of that issue. Those are the roots of that plant. I can dig them out and then that one will not come back. Okay, Aries, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy. As you break the cycle of poverty and you embrace wealth that just shocks you. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries, and may you have a blessed moon.